Okay, so we are beginning our online international education fair and the webinar is about to start. I can see we have about 100 students. I want to thank you for joining us today. I hope this is going to be a useful information when you're going to be attending. Till the end of the webinar, you will be able to learn about the scholarships, application fee waivers, the COVID-19 updates, and many more. So watch till the end and ask any question that you have. I hope it's going to be worth. Thanks.
My name is Morgan Edwards. I'm the regional manager for South Asia at the university. And I'm sat in my office today, or in my home office, from a very sunny North Wales in the UK. So I'll do our best to give you an idea of what we are as a university and why you should consider us. So one of the big things about Bangor is our location, and I always ask our students or people in the presentation, would you like to be in this kind of environment, or would you like to be in this kind of environment? You know, Bangor, one of our key selling points is definitely the location. It's an incredibly beautiful part of the world. We have the mountains, the lakes, the beaches, forest, everything on the doorstep, just 10 minutes away from the main university building. And you know, it's really important to have such a beautiful environment whilst you're doing your studies, because it gives you a chance to escape, you know, and to really kind of have a good peace of mind whilst you're studying. So 3 of the key reasons why, you know, people should be considering studying at Bangor in the UK. Number 1 is we're a very cost-effective university, one of the cheapest places in the whole of the UK to live, to study, and to work, and we're regularly voted in the top 5 cheapest places to live in the UK. Our fees are very competitive when you look at other universities and courses that are offered, but when you take into consideration our scholarships, we're definitely one of the most cost-effective universities to study at in the whole of the UK, to get a very good quality education for a low price. I've mentioned now the 50% scholarships. I'll touch on those a little bit later, but obviously all of this information will be in much more detail on our website, bangor.ac.uk. So, you know, please do have a look at that when you have a chance. The second reason people should be considering Bangor is we're very competitive and, you know, very strong in subjects that matter. And what do I mean by subjects that matter? It's really those subjects which are having a huge impact on the future of the world and the changing of the future. So things like psychology, lots of companies and people are thinking a lot about mindfulness now and how the health and well-being, mental well-being of their employees, and our psychology department does a lot of research into that. Our environmental sciences programs are incredibly strong. They're world-renowned, not just, you know, well-known in the UK or Europe, but globally they're widely, you know, regarded. Things like agriculture, ocean sciences, environmental sciences, forestry, these kind of things are very, very strong for us. And then electronic engineering and computer sciences are also very good for us as well. We have 5G Specialist Research Centre, Nano Fabrication Centre with one of the best clean rooms in the whole of the UK. So clean room is where you assemble these tiny semiconductors and microcomputers, and Bangor has one of the best facilities in the UK for that. And then finally, one of the key reasons for us, or the key selling points for us, is our location. You know, hopefully you won't get too bored by the end of my presentation, but that's a key theme that runs throughout. So our student diversity, even though we're a relatively small university compared to some others in the UK, you know, 12,000 students, we have a really fantastic representation of the international community. So almost 40 or just over 40% actually of our students are from other countries, from international countries. And you can see just some of the examples there: Austria, Bangladesh, China, Nigeria, Spain, the US. So it's an incredibly diverse student community, and that's arguably the most valuable thing about going to university, is this opportunity to exchange ideas with people from different backgrounds and different cultures. And this, you know, Bangor is a fantastic location for that. So these are all of our subject areas that we teach at the university. The ones in bold are the ones that we're very, very strong in, the ones that I've already mentioned. One thing I'll just say quickly about our business and MBA programs, Obviously, pretty much every university offers MBAs nowadays, but we're quite unique in that we have 11 different types of MBAs. So rather than just say, we have one or two quite general MBAs, if you have, for example, a split interest between...
Hi.
Hello? Okay, I'm not sure, it's slightly interrupted there, sorry about that.
Sorry, there was someone else who unmuted. Yeah, you can continue.
Okay. So yeah, they're all of our kind of subject areas, and I just advise you, if you are interested in any of these, just please take a look on the website, because obviously 15 minutes is far too short to go into any detail about any of those in particular. So this is the main university building. You can see that's a very beautiful building sitting on top of this hill that looks down over the city. We're almost 140 years old, so again, we're one of the oldest universities in the UK. We've been delivering academic excellence for 136 years, and hopefully we'll be continuing to do that for a long, long time to come. Some of the kind of rankings that we're kind of known for at the university, so we're TEF Gold rated, and there's over 140 universities in the UK, and not all of these have TEF Gold rating for their teaching quality. I think there's only about 30 or 40 that do have this. It's the top level, and Bangor is one of the universities that has this. We were voted in the top 10 last year for student satisfaction, so that's measuring students' general satisfaction with the course, the university, the facilities, their accommodation, their teachers, all that kind of stuff. And Bangor has actually been in the top 10 for 3 years in a row, so 2017, 18, and 19. Hopefully it'll be 4 years and we'll get it again this year. But that just says a lot about the kind of atmosphere, the environment, and the quality of the university, even though we're maybe not as well known as some of the bigger ones. Top 15 for teaching quality. Again, that kind of reiterates the first point, is that our teaching quality is very good. And obviously, when you go to university, the two most important things are your teaching quality and your research quality, because that's a sign of a very quality university. Top 10, sorry, you're going to hear my clock go off there. I can't turn that off. Top 10 UK university for job prospects. So lots of our students, they go on to do very, very well in terms of they graduate and they go straight into employment. I think we have a 96% employment rate for the majority of our courses, and I'll discuss that a bit more later. So again, location, this is about a 10-minute walk from the main university building I showed you a picture of earlier. You have the sea, the beaches, this pier next to the mountains with snow on top. Absolutely beautiful location. It does an awful lot for people's mindset as well. So in terms of the location, you can see Bangor here. It's in northwest Wales. It's about an hour and a half from Manchester, so that would be your nearest airport if you were coming to the university. We offer a free coach pickup service for students who are coming. To give you an idea, for students who are living in Mumbai, for example, it took me 2 hours to drive across Mumbai. So an hour and a half from Bangor to Manchester is really, really good. Very easy to get there. Birmingham is about 2 hours, 2.5, and London is about 3 hours, all on the train. So we're very well connected to the rest of the UK. So, if you want to have a big shopping weekend, or you want to go and watch football or see family or anything like that, you can get to these locations very, very easily. So we're extremely well connected to the rest of the UK. Again, in terms of location, for those of you who do know about Wales, you might think it's a very quiet, sleepy, almost boring kind of place, but actually that's completely wrong, and we've been undergoing a transformation recently to pitch ourselves as one of the most exciting places in the world to visit. And some of you might know of the travel book called the Lonely Planet Travel Guide, very well known, and last year or the year before, North Wales was voted as the #3 adventure destination in the world, after somewhere in New Zealand and somewhere in Canada. So we're an incredibly exciting place to visit. This picture is taken from an adventure park called Zip World, which again is about 10 minutes in the car away from the university, and it has lots of different rides like this, and it's extremely fun. So if you do get the chance, make sure you do go and have a go on this. Our accommodation, we think accommodation is incredibly important for the student experience. Obviously, if you have a clean, quality living space to go home to at the end of the day, it does an awful lot for your mindset and just makes you feel much more positive. Last year, we were voted in the top 5 for our student accommodation. We've invested about £40 million in developing our student accommodation over the past 4 or 5 years. So it's very, all the facilities are very modern, very, good spaces, very, very comfortable to live in. We obviously have a range of rooms, and this will be the same for all universities presenting today. The cost varies from £95 per week to £190 per week, depending on the size of the room, essentially. And then all those kind of modern amenities that come with the room, so your private bathroom, Wi-Fi, shared kitchen, free gym membership, on-site laundry services, etc. So scholarships, this is slightly out of date, this slide. Our scholarships are worth over £2 million a year now, and we're incredibly great value for money in terms of our low cost of living and the good scholarships that we offer as well. So here's a quick snapshot of the scholarships that we offer. The 50% scholarship, the Vice Chancellor's scholarship, that's for our top class students. So people who've done very well academically previously, got good English, got good scores in their previous studies. There is a deadline for this, so it's the 1st of May, so it's very, very close. So if you're thinking about submitting an application, go, as soon as you finish this presentation, go home, get on the internet, make an application to the university, and then you'll be able to apply for the Vice Chancellor's scholarship as well. Professional experience, this is for people who have 2 years managerial experience in a company. They'll be eligible for a £4,000 scholarship or up to. Dean's Scholarship, again, this is kind of based on your academic performance. So people, not quite as good as a first class student in the Vice Chancellor's Scholarship, but still quite strong academically, done well historically in their studies, in their previous degree or in their high school, in their English, and you're eligible for a £5,000 scholarship there. And then the final one is the International Scholarship. And if you don't meet any of the other criteria, all our students will be guaranteed the International Scholarship. So you'll be eligible for that one regardless. The other 3 scholarships, they're common across all universities in the UK, so I won't go into detail about those. But again, you can look on the website for further information. We have a very strong student support team at the university, and I think this is important because for many of you students, this might be the first time that you've ever traveled overseas by yourself to a foreign country, and it's quite a scary experience to do that. I've done that myself. I lived overseas for several years in foreign countries, and it was challenging not having any support network behind me. So this office, top 10 in the UK 2018, they're fantastic in terms of the support services that they provide to our students. So all the kind of issues around immigration, your visa, anything to do with finance, or just any issues that you might have whilst you're in Bangor, this team, these guys, they're there to support you with anything that you have. And they'd also be happy to answer any of your questions around these areas before you come. So just because I'm kind of running out of time, I'll touch quickly on the MBA programs. I mentioned at the beginning, we have 11 different MBAs. And all of these will be taught 50% between the business school and 50% between their other school. So for example, with the law school, you'd have 50% in the law school, 50% in business. Information management would be 50% with the computer sciences and electronic engineering school, and also the business school. Environmental management, obviously natural sciences, and the business school. So it's a fantastic mix that you get here. And then you can see the kind of career direction which matches up to those particular MBA programs. Again, go on the website, have a look in much more detail about what the course content contains and see which one is right for you if you're interested in MBA programs. As I mentioned before, a lot of our graduates, they go on to do some really fantastic things when they finished, even though we're a relatively small university. And these are some of the companies that they've gone on to join. So these are the biggest companies in the world. The only one that maybe we don't have there is Apple, but we can do some research. I'm pretty confident that we have somebody in Apple somewhere. Our graduates gone to do some pretty amazing things. Electronic engineering, so top 25 in the UK this year for electronic engineering. This is the clean room laboratory I mentioned. So this is where they assemble lots of semiconductors, microchips. This is a level 1 clean room, and clean rooms are rated from 10 being not clean to 1 being the cleanest. There's only 2 universities in the UK with a level 1 clean room, Cambridge University and Bangor University. So that just shows you the quality of our facilities. Computer sciences, top 15 for computer sciences this year in terms of teaching quality. One of the oldest schools for computer sciences, very strong there. And then finally, psychology, top 20 in the UK for our psychology research. They've just bought a new £1.5 million MRI scanner, which our psychology students get to spend time on. And that's really, fantastic, because that means our psychology students from Bangor are going to be using the most up-to-date equipment in the field of psychology, meaning that when they come to graduate, they have, that first-hand experience of modern technology and understanding.
So this brings us to the end of the webinar. I hope the information that you have gained today is going to be useful for you for making an application to the university. If you still have any question or any query about applying to the university, then you contact one of the Study Metro representative. Thank you so much again for joining this webinar. Have a good one.